I'm here. What time does that start? I think it starts at 9. I'm gonna make sure because when the Super Bowl starts, I'm gonna be off of here. I don't think anybody's gonna watch because they're probably watching the Super Bowl. I don't even pay. I don't know what time the Super Bowl is. So that's how much I pay attention to them sports figures. Yeah. Anybody? Somebody's there. Somebody's there. What time's the Super Bowl start? Because I'm not gonna. Um. Oh, it's still going. It's on. I didn't know. 20 to 10, huh? um. Yeah, I guess it's already running. I thought the Super Bowl start. I thought it started at like 9 o'clock at night. I don't know. I don't pay attention to it. I don't. I don't. I don't support guys that make a 5-6 million a year. I don't support. They don't need my support. That's for sure. So I'm competing with the Super Bowl right now, huh? Hey, hey, Jason. I'm Maria. Hooli. Mm. I met a Holly from Minnesota down in Florida once. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I don't care much about the Super Bowl. It's getting closer to search season, and I still have my 3DR drone, and except it's untrustworthy. It likes to kill GoPros. It killed 2 GoPros, and I don't want it to kill my third GoPro. So I haven't flown it much or used it much. It works okay for hauling my 360 camera around. Except the problem is you can't see where the damn thing's going, because there's no wireless view. You got to go by what you see, and you can't tell how far away that drone is. And when it's in the trees, that black drone, it's hard to see a black drone in the trees. So what I've got a Hubsan um, H501SS drone coming that was like $200, and it's white, so I'll be able to see it. I'll be able to see it in front of the trees, when it's in front of the trees and stuff. A lot of people like the black because they can see it when it's in the sky, but you don't have a problem of running into things up in the sky like you do when you're flying near the trees and stuff like that. You want to be able to see where that thing is. Um, and the drone I ordered, there are guys doing flight tests with it, and it doesn't, you don't need your phone with it, so you're not relying on the phone's Wi-Fi and stuff. How you doing, Captain Marvel? Bob Art. Yeah, I don't have to rely on that on the phone for the FPV view. That's a forward point of view coming from the drone. It's a little camp, so you can see. Oh, there. You can tell how far you are from the cliff or the tree or wherever you are. You can see where you're at. And but anyhow, these people, the range is 1.5 miles out, and I've seen people flying this drone 1.5 miles up. They go up into the clouds with them, and it's like, okay, that's what I need because my other drone, it would go, it would had a 400-foot limit, and it would stop. It wouldn't go up the canyon wall more than 400 feet, and I got 1,000-foot cliff. I want to see stuff that's up higher. And so this drone should be able to get me pictures of what's up higher. And I think the weight of it is less than what's required to have to register it with the FCC. So it's it should be able to go up there. But it'd probably go high enough that I could go over to the base of Mount Blanca and fly it to the top of the mountain and see what's up there and come back down. So I like that capability. Yeah. Yeah, I'm competing with the Super Bowl. So it advertised with me, and it's $1 million ads. Huh? That'll work. I need 3 of them. And I've been having trouble sleep. I've been getting to sleep when the sun comes up, so I've got to adjust that to, like, tonight. I might stay up till the sun, and then stay up until 7 o'clock in the evening, and then go to bed, and then I can wake up earlier and try and get my schedule where I'm sleeping at night and awake in the day. My solar, my batteries just kicked off from running my inverter. So, but with the sun coming further north, my batteries are last longer into the night, and I don't have to start the generator as early. A lot of people don't understand the concept of where warm waters halt. It is in the hot, steamy bottom. That halts at the hot, steamy bottom. That's where it turns hot. It's not where you're moving into the river and it turns cold. It's at the bottom. It's like, where does your sinker halt? At the bottom. When you throw your fishing line at, the sinker halts on the bottom. And Barlow, I'm gonna be funny. I got a bobber on mine. It's like, no. When you go ice fishing, you don't put a bobber on it. The sinker you want it to go down to the bottom of the lake. That's where the water halts, at the bottom. And the deepest hot spring goes to Hot Springs. It's the deepest hot spring. And also warm waters halt at birth and at death. When you're born, the water bag breaks, the warm water halts, you're born. You're out of that warm environment in the womb. And when you die, your warm blood stops pumping. Warm water, the warm blood is water. So, it's the water of the body or whatever. And when it stops, when your heart stops pumping, your warm water halts again. So there's the reality, the physical and the metaphysical, and how does either of those apply to the poem? Where warm waters halt, how does it apply? Damn, you got rusty nipples. You is your brain made of iron too? How does it apply? Where warm waters halt is at the bottom of the deepest hot spring, the world's deepest hot spring. That's how it applies to the poem. It should say it applies to the poem. When warm waters halts, when you finish pissing your bed, Rusty. It gets cold. Start there then. Yeah, how's it apply? Jesus. Correct the canyon, and then you'll know you have the correct word. Uh, yeah, I'm in the correct canyon because the teacher is standing over his. Forrest is sleeping on his desk on the canyon wall, and the teacher's standing over him. The canyon doesn't have a name. It's not a known canyon. It's special to Forrest because of all the ancient rock carvings on it that predate Noah. Yeah, okay. And it's a special. Moses is in this canyon. The teacher waking him up at his desk is at this canyon. A lot of the figures in the stout-hearted men are in this canyon. It doesn't have a name. You're not the creek or riverlet, as Forrest calls them. A riverlet is a tributary to a river. I call it Columbian Mammoth Canyon, and that's because of all the mammoth figures on it and stuff. Giant mammoth figures. There are mammoths 600 feet tall in this canyon, carved into the rock. Wow, I'm surprised that many people aren't watching the Super Bowl. It looks like it's a 49er game, huh? I use the words as key to find my canyon. But that's not the word. A key word is the title. If you ain't got the title, you ain't got to find the treasure. I am watching. Oh, see, yeah, I'm not watching the Super Bowl. I am watching. I think the last time I watched the Super Bowl was like 2001 or 2002. And I think it was Denver and New England, and Denver won because I was living in Colorado. Anytime I live in Colorado, they win if they're there. I thought you meant news. Yeah. Yeah, I was debating whether I would even, because I don't have a lot to talk. You know, I feel like I've repeat anything. There's nothing new. I have nothing new. I have places to continue looking. I got the new drone is gonna. Forrest said that a drone won't help you find the treasure, but it'll help you maybe find a way to get into where you're going. You know, like I got a spot up on it's up on a different terrace than I'm at on, and I need to get up on this higher level, and I can use the drone to scout out a way to get there. I can go up there and look closer at the area and get an idea if I even want to go up there with the drone. And hello, Boxhound. Ghost Dancer Radio. That's okay. I've got a FM 7.5 watt FM transmitter that'll go out 5-10 miles, depending on here to probably get to 7 miles or so. because it's so flat, no trees and stuff. But I got an FM transmitter, and I can plug it into the audio out on my phone and play music over the radio on FM, or I can talk on it. Maybe Fenbury, I'll come up and we'll have a Fenn. I know people aren't going to walk around listening to the radio up there at Fenbury. I thought it'd be a good one thing that there's no self signals up there, unless somebody was to go and put a cell booster up on top of the hill where it gets a signal and transmit it down into that valley. The camera's right over on that side of the phone where all the chat conversations going on that side. Toby had moved over to the other side. He's got his head in the sand. I made a little cartoon. I think it's on here. Yeah, old phone. Yeah, we'll just for fun here. There we go. Yeah, see. You got the camel and the and the ostrich.
Oh, you got a camel toe sitting right next to you, Toby, and you got your head in the sand.
Because they got that camel in the beginning, and he's in the sand, so I got the ostrich with his head in the sand, and the camel's like, you know Joe Joe Camel's what year was that? Like that was 95 or so. When was that? Yeah. Oh wait. No, that was 1990. With Joe Camel came out. I'd buy to get the stuff. I'd buy the cigarettes and give the cigarettes to somebody who smoked, and to get the Joe Camel stuff, But they outlawed Joe Camel because he was too appealing to kids. How can you be sure you don't have the chest? Isn't that key word, huh? People will be surprised at the answers and clues were right there the whole time. Not so hard to solve if you have the word that is key. The title. If you don't have you're not going to stumble upon the treasure. That includes when you're searching for it, because you're if you're absolutely positive, then Forrest would have had to tell you. And so anything else is stumbling on it. You can't have the title, the treasure, without earning the title first. 3-degree 3D. I'm positive. A good answer to the riddle. I just have to. Just since the sun, I have the chest. Yeah, and even it might have walked right over it. And you don't know what the is. It someplace he was sitting and looking at something. I got some of those. I've checked those spots. I only use my metal detector more around that area, but I don't think I'm going to find anything. And I think somebody else has already searched that area with the metal detector, because right around the picnic table, there's a picnic table there, right? And you expect to find a lot of bottle pull tabs and bottle caps and things like that around the picnic table. And there were none. There's nothing there. Somebody picked it clean. So the area has been gone over really good with a metal detector already. And some pains in my knee, and once you find the blade, you have to go up or down. Choose down. That's wrong. Forrest was saying that he didn't take it down into a canyon and walk back out. That's too much work. He was saying that's too that's too much. No, he could have taken it up some, because what you want is you want an easy retreat. After you get there, you want it easy going back. You want to be going downhill. But because the hard part is the climbing part, and you want to get that out of the way. You don't want to have to be climbing out of some place after you've worked hard to get in there. The place you've selected to look has always been your spot. What is there? No. This area, I came on in 2016. I in August of 2016, I moved my search from up in near Salida and Browns Canyon and the Collegiate Peaks. Before said he didn't go to Yale or Harvard, so it's not on Yale or Harvard Mountain or in that area. And I had climbed up near the base of Mount Yale. The Silver Creek Trail goes from this highway on the North Fork of Cottonwood Creek, and there's a trail where Silver Creek Trail is. You cross the creek first on a bridge, and then the trail is like this going up the mountain. It's like that. And so you go 50 feet and stop and take a break. Go another 50 feet, stop and take a break. And I think it was 4 miles, a 4 mile hike. And the whole thing is like that practically, you know. And and you're hiking up along a creek, and the creek is probably a 200-300 foot. If you fell off the trail, you'd end up down in that creek 200-300 feet below you. But that's why I had because it was so far, if the treasure was up there, I made a cart. You know who that is? So I made this little like wheelbarrow cart. It was just a redwood boards, a couple pieces of pipe, a couple wheels, and I put the 2 wheels on it real close together. Oh. So that it would stay on the narrow trail. And I had the runners, the boards were on, so that if I came upon a log or something, the whole thing would just slide right over the log and back onto the wheels. And uphill battle. The Oak Island treasure. No, it's easier in Oak Island. It's the imagination finding that. There's no paddle. Because there's no paddle, there'll be no paddle. You're not going to find the treasure. He's saying you're shit out of luck. You're shit out of luck because it ain't going to be the treasure chest isn't what you're looking for. You're looking for the trove. My trove for all. Why must I leave my trove for my trove of memories? Memories. You have a trove of memories. I need a haircut. Interesting. It doesn't lead the treasure. If you find the trove, then he gives you title to the gold. But he covets the treasure. People don't understand what covets mean, what he's talking about when he talks about coveting things. It's like Olga coveted her apartment. It's mine until I die. Then you can have it if you've earned the title. There's no treasure up the creek. And you can't paddle up the creek. Wolf Creek goes up a series of waterfalls. Tell me how you're going to paddle up a waterfall. Explain that to me. No paddle up your creek is freaking simple. You can't go paddle up the creek because there's waterfalls. I've never seen anybody paddle up a waterfall. I've seen idiots go off of waterfalls in their kayaks. And when he says if you rent a cabin, isn't it yours? When you're renting it. If you rent a space on a shelf under the museum, isn't it yours until for the term of that contract? It's people are expecting to find the treasure chest, and it's the thrill of the chase that you're seeking, not if you've completed the thrill of the chase, which is finding them ancient artifacts, then he gives you title to the gold, but you got to wait until he passes away. There are many places to lease land in there. Now, he leased the space on a shelf. If you own Rembrandts, there are places not safe. It won't fit in the safe deposit box, right? So what do? You go to the art vault at some museum, like say the Denver Art Museum. Down in the basement, they got a vault. Well, probably where how much is it a year? And I want to store it for, so we're going to pay to store this here for 50 years. And they pay for that too. It's paid for storage. He owns that shelf where that slot where that painting is stored. It's not a safe deposit box. It's not in a safe. He's not lying there. Not in a safe deposit. It's probably in a little crate. He's probably got a crate that the chest just fits in, and that chest is in there, and all the, just like in National Treasure when they show that big old room full of all these treasures, or the one first National Treasure where it was a warehouse full of crates and stuff. There's the museum has the basement's a vault, basically, where expensive things can be securely stored. You've never watched Ocean's 11 and stuff, and Ocean's 12 and people breaking into museums to take things and or things that are in the vault of the museum. They're not a bunch of safe deposit boxes, but there's boxes of stuff and precious things that artifacts that are too valuable to just leave out somewhere. They're down they're in the basement in the vault. Forrest even mentions the national treasure and the vault in the basement. You must be a medicine man. No, he's Forrest says success is an omnipotent guru, and I've mentioned this many times. The only person he called an omnipotent guru was Leo Salazar. Where'd he go? Where is Leo Salazar? Right there. And where is it? I can get my finger on it, then put it up to the right there. Success, or he said like some kind of omnipotent religious guru. Leo said, or what? That's a guru. His words were fit for lessons at any Sunday school. And what's he say here? Moses was an important figure. If you can find Moses, then you're an omnipotent guru. I found Moses. This Moses is not the one Leo was showing him. Leo was showing him one up on the side of 1,000-foot karst. Said that's where Moses received the 10 Commandments, as he carved the wooden one, this wooden one that he made for Forrest was a, where does it say, perfect likeness? Uh, 24-inch figure from a freshly cut tree. He assured me that it would be a perfect likeness of Moses. It's a perfect likeness of the Moses that he showed him up on the side of the cliff. And that's the Moses that I've found. It's the same Moses. Yes, it's right. It's just down the road from the schoolhouse where the teacher waking him up at his desk. 49ers are going. I don't know. It looked like they were way ahead. No, Kansas is ahead now. Usually the AFC was used to be. The AFC was always better than the NFC. Yeah, and I got my new cards from my art. Where are they gonna show good? It's kind of reflecting. So, and the backside has art on it too. Yeah, these guys. Did I put my phone number on it? Yep, I did. Oh, forgot to put the address on it. SF. Oh, yeah, I don't want to talk about the SF clue. San Francisco, Santa Fe, San Fernando. You get it? Because Moses is that distance. But the treasure's not there. And I've already found Moses. So it's not going to do you any good to go out and find Moses, you know? Because I've already earned the title. I'm just waiting for Forrest to finish coveting the treasure. And that's when his heart stops pumping and his blood goes cold. I don't know, is there something about the waters of the body or something? The blood is the water of the body, basically. And I got to go tomorrow. Supposedly, the lab called me and asked me if I was coming in for my phlebotomy tomorrow. And I said, yeah, well, as long as the insurance is going to cover it. And if the VA doesn't, then I'm just going to stiff the hospital. The hospital is going to have to cover it because they told me I was covered. And so if I'm not, whatever. But yeah, I've got my new. Where's my device? I got a thing. Oh, I put it in its little bag. Got my thing for testing my blood and all that, but I put it in so that I don't have to, so that I can test it before I go down to the lab. This little thing is called an HCT Connect, and I plug it into I wait for a month and a half for it to come from England. And it gets here, and I put the app on my phone. I plug it in, and it says cannot connect to device. Cannot connect to device. And it's like, you buggers. Send me another one. Send me one that works. So I'm waiting for that because I ordered extra tests. I got $50 invested in the thing, and it's no good. And I put there's a little test thing you plug in instead of the blood meter thing, with a little switch on it, that on-off switch on it, and even when I put that in, it still can't find the device, but it'll give me a different number if I put that on there. So it sees the device and stuff. They've got it set so it won't work in America, I think, is what the problem is. And they didn't tell me it wouldn't work here. Which way does he shake his hand with I don't know. He sticks his finger right in my chest. Are you threatening me? Are you threatening me? The only person to be a threat to Forrest is the person who knows his secret. Because if two can keep a secret if one of them's dead. I told him 3 can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead. Hey, are you threatening me? Yeah. Over Fenn's board, so they don't try to follow studies one, and jokers with 2s. What are on the playing cards? What are the high cards? They're the royal figures, the kings, the queens, and the deities, basically. And there are Egyptian deities in the rock figures. There's enough of them to make a royal flush of them. There's 5 deities that are, and he's the Joker. Forrest is the Joker. I played a trick on everybody, made him think that the actual treasure was out there, and I really wanted them to find these ancient ruins of Atlantis. And Toby was talking about that he was talking to Davio, and Davio changed subjects, 9 times or whatever, or every 10 seconds, he was on a different subject or something, basically, and he couldn't follow that. Well, the same thing goes. They can't see the stuff in the rock. All I see is rocks because I'm not Marvel gazing long enough, and it's not coming to me. I'm not trying to see anything. You know, they basically think that they can Marvel gaze in 5 seconds. Is it really over? 4th and 10. Oh, boy, Kansas City got a couple touchdowns in that last quarter. Huh. So is that final? It's over? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not watching. Those, I had gone to after 9/11. I brought I brought an American flag, and I went to a Colorado Rockies game, and they were gonna throw me out for bringing a flag, and I said, "Oh, screw these sports people. Screw that. I'm not having nothing to do with these professionals that make over $1 million a year. They don't need your support. They don't need my support. They're wealthy." They're wealthy. I'm poor. Why should I waste money on them? and like a guy I was watching one of the political channels to follow, and they were talking about the teams and people all excited. People know everything. Know the stats of this player and that player. I know. Doesn't that impress you that I know all this about Kobe Bryant? It's like, I know. I'm a genius. I know how many. His average scoring and all that. No, you're not. You gotta build a spaceship, put a rocket on the moon. Then you're a genius. You're not a genius because you follow sports. It doesn't make you intelligent. It dumbs you down. So the Super Bowl's over. So now, I got fewer people watching now that it's over. Lost 5 people since the Super Bowl ended. The fat lady singing. So Kansas City beat Sam's. That's good. It was down in Miami, I guess. And Quanah Parker was the son of Cynthia Ann Parker was his mother, who was kidnapped. She was a white woman kidnapped by the Comanches when she was a little girl, and 25 years later had given, Quanah Parker was her son from the chief, and became the chief of the Comanches. Yeah, the Geronimo is important about the pipe and stuff. Yeah, we know there's Geronimo. Yeah. But Quanah Parker is tied to Lonesome Dove, the Hat Creek Cattle Company. And what's he got, the hat with a hole in it in the creek? People don't put that together. They don't put that together. That's a Gus hat, which was made famous by Lonesome Dove. Oh, he was a scout looking for Geronimo. Okay. And so the Lonesome Dove story, these guys were, being tracked by, and Indians and stuff, and were attacked by Indians, and the one guy was injured, and the other guy went back to get help, and he came back. Some people found the guy that was wounded, I guess, and whatever, and they knew it was safe to approach him because he had the cowboy hat. The cowboy hat told him he was a white guy. He wasn't an Indian looking for scalps. He was because the Indians didn't wear cowboy hats. Indian battles. Yeah, my great grandfather, Daniel Flynn Chase, Major Daniel Flynn Chase, commanded the artillery for Grant at Vicksburg, and artillery is what was credited for winning the siege at Vicksburg because of the artillery. And before he landed to go fight at Vicksburg, he had a dream that he was shot while he was on his horse, and so he went into battle on foot. He didn't want to be on the horse. So I wonder if his horse took one for him. Ditchotomy. The Moses figure. Let's see. Pictures. I thought I had one. There it is. See, now look at the wooden Moses on the right, and the Moses that's on the side of the karst, halfway up 1,000-foot karst. And he's standing on this is a mammoth. This is a mammoth in the trunk coming down. There's other guys here climbing up onto the mammoth. But the wooden Moses, he says, a perfect likeness of the Moses that Leo Salazar was showing him. Basically, he said that's where Moses received the 10 Commandments. So he was here pointing at this Moses while he was carving the perfect likeness. This is the likeness of this. And Moses is an important figure. And he says, success is an omnipotent guru. He says that, and he's quoting Leo Salazar, that's where Moses received the 10 Commandments. Leo said as he spoke like some kind of omnipotent religious guru. Okay, and he says success is an omnipotent guru. So Leo Salazar, the wood carver from Taos, who died in 1991 from unknown causes. You hear my buddy out there crying to come in. I want in. Right now. He's a spoiled little demanding dog. Come on, Jack. Come on. See, I got the door open. He sits there. You coming in? Come on in, Jack. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah, grab the treats and he comes in. Let me see if I can set the. I can't get the treat out of the bag, Jack. I only got one hand. I can't unzip lock it. You see, here's my. I got a doorbell right here. It's my 1892 doorbell off the house I lived in, that my family lived in when I was 3, 4. Let's see, 61. Yeah, 61 to 63 or so. Because we lived there when we went to the World's Fair in Seattle. This yeah, that's a pull string doorbell. You know the old ones. You pull a string or you push a lever. Okay, you're gonna look at my ceiling for a second while I get a treat out. So I can't unzip lock that with one hand. Then Jack sits and shake. And he gets a treat. Yeah. You gotta do your tricks too, Jack. Just don't get a treat for coming in the door. The treat's for the handshake, obeying me, not for playing games to come in. I ain't coming in unless you give me a treat. Oh, yeah, sinus. I still got a couple weeks before I see the sinus doctor. When do I see it? When's that? 2 weeks and 3 days. Because they gotta rotor my sinuses. They're all messed up. Been messed up most of my life, and finally, the first time I ever seen an ENT, and I should have seen one long time ago. Yes, game over for the chase this summer if we are lucky. The chase won't end until Forrest has passed away. And that's why Forrest said he'll make sure and let them people know. Well, yeah, it's going to be made known after he passes away. And I don't know if how he has it set up, if the winner is notified before the rest of the people or not. Back what I missed. Oh, I don't know what you missed. I don't know when you left. Not true. If someone solves it, they can find it. No. He secreted the chest. It's under contract. It's a game to find the thrill of the chest. He says like that thrill of finding that arrowhead that sent him off like, wow, you know? Oh, well, my left knee is just killing me right now. I don't know why. I take my after my pill tray for the next week. After those, this week 1 and week 2. So, but they're changing my my anti-inflammatory, which I didn't want. I wasn't having problems with the one I have. So, that'll eat holes in your stomach. They put a scope in my stomach last year, and it was nice, pink, smooth, beautiful looking stomach. It's not eating holes in my stomach. So why change the medication? You know, it came from a doctor I trusted, and I don't. The doctor I have now they want to cure things that aren't curable, that there's no cure for. They want to retest you for everything that you fought for years to get it diagnosed in the first place. Bent over and everything. Fell. Uh-oh. Yeah. Um, were you smoking the peace pipe? That'll do it. You can't take a toke off that thing and stand up right after. Nothing like a little duct tape and baling wire will fix. Positional hypertension. Take care of yourself. Yeah, my drone's supposed to be here in a week from Tuesday. So when I get that, I can go some of the spots. I might go flying up. I don't really want you don't want to go flying your drone out over some place that you don't want to go hiking looking for your drone. So, but a lot of my search area is southern exposure where the snow melts quickly. So I was looking at my videos, and in March I was up in my search area, and there was just little patches of snow in some places, but other places it was still 4 feet deep. What? Oh, my blood pressure is always 117 over 75. My blood, whatever regulates, mine blew the thing out, and so it doesn't get high too often. New Mexico searchers are out already. Toby's approved. Period. Yeah, Toby. Yeah, he's got his head in the sand. Now you know. uh, Somebody was commented about the. I said, well, there's no border wall at Colorado border. There's no wall there, but there's a lot of searchers that have made an artificial wall at the Colorado border, and like I said, I went down to the it was the signing or the Jamie drawing thing, and left my search area at 8 a.m. and I was there in time for the drawing. I hung out and went to the Blue Corn and all that with Forrest. And Forrest at the Blue Corn, he says, "You're going to get drunk tonight." Is that my 6-pack I'm supposed to drink? What he was talking about, you know? And he tells Bill Sullivan that I'm good with an axe. People are idiots when it comes to alcohol. It's killed way more people than can. Yeah, and alcohol kills a lot more brain cells. I don't drink alcohol. Like I got the sinus headache, and if you get sinus headaches and alcohol, man, your hangovers are killer. They're terrible. So I haven't. I used to go out on a weekend. I was a weekend drinker, not an everyday drinker. I don't have to have beer in my refrigerator. I was never a person to keep beer in a refrigerator. And most of the women I've dated that need beer every day are unstable psychologically, very unstable. Yeah. Most of the people that'll give you shit about smoking a little weed are alcoholics. You know, it's like the person doing cocaine knocking weed. You know, um, the Forrest talks about Quanah Parker went to the peyote church. His Indian church was the peyote church. Now, and then you got scrapbook 116. There's naked ladies in the marble in his marble walls of his showers, and I think he's named them. Yeah, my dad always gave me crap about smoking some pot and stuff, and my his mother was 80s, in her 80s and 90s. Well, she died at 94, but every Christmas when we show up at my dad's for Christmas and stuff, and I'd give my grandmother a joint for Christmas, you know. I, I'd wait when she went back to the bathroom. I went back to the back of the house and got her joint ready and wait. And when she come out, I go, "Here you go, Grandma. Merry Christmas." Oh, thank you, thank you. You don't know how much I appreciate it. My grandmother though flushed the toilet 10 times thinking it would suck the smell down. Old pot ain't like new. The new stuff ain't bad. I got a new jar for mine. Dollar Tree had these nice 12-sided jars, so I got a nice jar for it. Tumbler. And look again at scrapbook 209. You can't tell me anything about Toby and Shelley. I don't know if scrapbook 209. I'm not. I don't recall what it was about. I don't know. Let's see. Um, yeah. I'm gonna put the links. When you search for it, it should be the first link. But there's a whole bunch of stupid blogs that with um yep, 209 Dale. Yeah, I'm not a fan of dials. Not since the t-shirt contest. Uh votes for my design not counted and all that BS. And also, somebody with no last name. No, if you're gonna win the t-shirt contest, you got to have a first name. You got to have a last name. No mystery. We don't know who the fuck they are, people. It was kind of like, oh, this is the one we've chosen to be the. It's like, well, them Democrats, they rig all elections. 3 days over, 6-pack. Stop drinking 13. Yeah. Chemo saw me still sucking shit. What? About chaos embroidery. Oh no, I don't think chaos and embroidery is about. Not they're not. That's not about Toby, Shelley. No, I don't see that at all. It's in the primitive It's primitive and spiritual. No, no, they're more like Ren and Stimpy, not chaos and embroidery. Um, a wedding dress. It's about imagination. Partly, it took a lot of imagination to make that, and art and creativity, and it's spiritual. I mean that chaos guy. He, you know, if you ran into somebody like that on the street, it'd be kind of scary, wouldn't he? That's the way thinking differs. They tell you, shall I do chaos and embroidery and misled many searchers. Yeah, yeah, they miss. They some of them are set up to fail. Forrest knows they're nowhere near, and you know, like K Pro, so push. She like Gladys Kravitz, you know, the neighbors Bewitched, you know, was always nosy, into everything, loud mouth. That's that's K Pro, K Profit, they call her. And, and I got K Profit, I blocked K Profit and Sassy. You know, because they eliminate, won't let me be in the chat because I said one time I said I need to take a couple of hits so that I come down to your level. So it was either Jason, Sasha, and Maggie. And get my neck to play a game. Play the game. What game we playing? Oh, yeah. The thing somebody mentioned that there could be a tie that Howard Hughes was the guy in that car in Yellowstone or whatever that they flattened that Forrest flattened the tires, and he didn't admit it, but you know that's what happened. Either Forrest did it or his friend did it. I've had crazy friends like that who'll do things that you won't. Well, if you fine, you go do it. I won't have to take a rap for it if that happens. Yeah, yeah. I can read. I'm able to read the spelling typos and stuff. I noticed Davio isn't good at the. You'd think he'd catch on to. Oh, that looks like a typo. I think they meant to say this because I put things and it changes a word completely. It's completely different word, different subject, not even close to what you put in there. And you know, I type and I expect it to put on there what I'm typing, and it changes the word to something completely different. Oh, this sinus is like right in here. Oh, but I've got equate acetaminophen. I better take a couple. I help my headache. I missed another Super Bowl. Oh, um, and chaos is kind of like the rock formations. I like my business card. Isn't that chaos? But you see the two main things right in the middle dancing there. Look at the phone doing the brightness. Up and down brightness, and so maybe it's easier to see from further. But yeah, it's just a bunch of rocks, But if you examine it, you go, oh wow, and then you see the whole big picture. I use a. It takes me over a week to drink a 2-liter bottle of soda because all I do is I use it when I don't have a cup of tea or the tea's too hot to swallow pills with. It's book smart. There was a Lonesome Dove. Where's my there was the Lonesome Dove. He's got one horse land and cattle company. Same Lonesome Dove. Hat Creek cattle company. Where is it? I got a cartoon. In Forrest has a quote from Quanah Parker. White man goes into his church house and talks about Jesus, but the Indian goes into his teepee and talks to Jesus because he's taking hallucinogenics. He's eating peyote and mushrooms and smoking herb. Yeah. All right. Again, whiskey. That's the other thing I was telling them. I get bad headaches from drinking, and whiskey gives me it's tenfold headaches. That's why I drink rum if I drink. As far as he's a shaman, yep. Vanishing race. No, belittle fellow searchers. No. You know, leaving somebody out is as bad as punching them in the face and stuff like that. And that's what all of them have done. Every one of them. All those other video vloggers that have their Brady Bunch screens and have the money to pay for inviting people on. And, oh, well, we love all searchers. It's like bullshit, you freaking liars. They're such fucking liars and so phony. And Toby and Shelley, I don't exist. People that mention me get blocked from their channel and stuff like that. You're not allowed to talk about Bill Gorman. Because we hate Bill Gorman. There we go. Put in. Forrest colluded with the Russians. I wondered who made it and caused it to be resting at my feet for 1,000 years, waiting for me to pick it up. He's talking about his arrowhead. That's the thrill of the chase. And I own the drawing that was made from. Oh, there's the um, I just made some art. This thing ain't going in order. A Fenn is a muddy bog. There he's up to his eyes. There's the canoe. You see the canoe down here. There's the canoe, and there's people. There's a girl in the canoe and this woman, but this is an elephant in the trunk coming down. They're sitting on the elephant. The mammoth is loading those people in the canoe. And that was a March search, I believe. Yeah, double blazes. You got little fanatic logos in his eyes. How deep is a hole? Um, the rock was Skippy holding the rock. Here, okay. So this is the picture with Skippy. And this one, I took my picture from the same place and put it behind there to show this is the same location. It's funny that I had a picture at the same angle as the picture with Skippy. You know, because this rock here is this rock here. But yeah, this is so that's my picture of the same spot. It's at the brink of Upper Yellowstone Falls. And this rock in the bottom of the picture down here is probably that rock that he's leaning on. So it's pretty damn close to the same picture. So, and Forrest talks about finding another Indiana Jones like him. You know, is there another Indiana Jones type person like myself out there? Somebody who can recognize ancient stuff, you know? And you see the video of him at San Lazaro with Suzanne Summers. And she's got a rock. Look, it's George O'Keefe. You know? Where's my arrowhead or my knife? I need to take everything out of my RV and then put things back in neatly. Marvel. Vanishing Ray. How far up did it go? Things scrolled away from me. Indiana Smith. When I lived in New Hampshire, I was renting a room in a house, and in Keene, New Hampshire. And one of my roommates, one of the other guys that lived there, was this guy named Smitty, who was probably 75 or so. And it turned out that his ancestors had owned land that they bought from my ancestors in Vermont. It was pretty cool to, wow, your family knew my family back, and we know, wow, that's cool. 250 years ago. I use my mouse to try and wake up my phone and it don't work. Yeah, when was, let's see, I was in Keene in 2006. Was it? Yeah, I had my bus then when I was living there. Um, I was working for a company in Suncook that made uh, vacuum furnaces for testing space shuttle tiles and shit like that. And they were being scammed by the Chinese. Were learning how to make their so they can make them over in China. What price you was? Uh, yeah, well, it's well, the people that were 200-foot searcher. He said they were, but they didn't see it. They didn't see it. They didn't see it. You know, they didn't see the stuff in the rocks, and that's the important. If you not see the stuff in the rock, you have no chance at all of getting the treasure. If your imagination can't go where mine is gone, that you have no chance at all of finding the treasure. You might as well give up if your imagination can't see naked ladies in the shower tiles, then you're not capable of finding the treasure. Yeah, I've got a ton of experience. Um, uh, and the 200-foot, 500-foot searcher comment was made before I was in my search area. So he wasn't talking about me. And that comment is from 2014 or something, 2013, 2014. It's an expired, it is basically expired. And people are, well, he said that, oh, nobody's, he said it that, okay. Is that answer still valid? Because since 2013, there have been many others that were within 200 feet, probably, and and stuff. Did somebody see what's key is the imagination of seeing stuff in the rocks? No, nobody's seen that. Me. I think I know who one of the 200 searchers was. I'm gonna reveal it. Yeah, if I knew who that was, I could say, hey, were you here? You know, because you were just stopping to look at the wild rapids, and you didn't see what was right in front of you. Like in them rapids is Osiris sitting there holding his penis, and Forrest talks about Osiris's penis in one of the scrapbooks. George Washington's monument is Osiris's penis. I was watching a video today, and the guy was saying that Trump is the reincarnation of Osiris. I think that the treasure will be awarded to the winner the day that they lock Hillary up in jail. Well, the treasure, it's the trove that we seek. He says, my trove for all to seek. They never called the treasure the trove or his trove. If you You might ask Forrest, what's the definition of trove to you? The finder of his trove, the ancient rock art, or actually, if you're braving in the wood, I give you title to the gold. Braving in the wood is that Buffalo Cowboys, that Model A cowling. He prayed for D's, but if you find that cowling, you got an A. And it was in the D of the word wood. I was just looking at my look up my drone videos. Drone wood, and you go to my channel and you not the top search box. There's a little search box for searching my channel, and you search my drone videos for the wood, and that is flying over the wood. There's a giant W, you know, and then OOD. It's cut out of the forest like some aliens making crop circles. And the word wood. So people are the wood. What's the wood? It's a wooden box. It's a wooden. No, it's the word wood. The word wood. That's why those words are important. And you look down from an airplane and you see the word wood cut out of the forest. And you had to be a brave little fucker to lasso that buffalo and ride in that car with Skippy and Buddy, right? And it was worth the long, cold walk home because they all got wet in the creek. It was cold outside. Have you ever gotten soaking wet when it's 40 degrees outside? It's very cold. It was worth the cold because it was so much fun. X. Yeah. And the trove is spread out between the home of Brown and the end of his rainbow. And if Colorado represents colorful Colorado, and the Red Sea is that sea in the Colorado on the flag of Colorado. But the warmer the experience, it was worth the fun. That's all that matters. If you can't relate the worth the cold, brave, and you had to be brave to lasso a buffalo, ride in that car, and crash in the creek, and it was so much fun. I didn't realize how much fun it was till later. and so I grabbed the Buffalo Cowboys car. I had that in 2016. In 2017, I brought it to Fenn. Nobody paid attention to it. Forrest probably looked, oh shit, man. And other people knew that was it. There was other people there knew that was it. And then I was asked, would you like your picture with Forrest? Sure, I would. You know? And I said, okay, well, give me your phone. Okay, here. And I get home, I look at the pictures, I don't think much of it. And I go, what the heck? He's doffing his hat and doing the George Washington hand symbol. The hand in the nation to the people. And that hand symbol represents the hand of God. He was guided by the hand of God. And there's the hand of God. You've done a good job. Got to hand it to you. You know? Boom. But you don't get the treasure until he's passed away. He covets the treasure. I'm holding on to it. Moses is an important figure. Charlton Heston played Moses, and what's he say? From my cold, dead hands. It's worth the cold, the weight, the cold shoulder. Until I die, it's still mine. I ain't letting that go until I passed away. You can't have it until then. And people will go get it. It's like, no, I'm not going to go kill Forrest to get the treasure chest or sooner, you know? That's why, are you threatening me? Are you threatening me? Because two can keep a secret if one of them's dead. You know my secret. You're going to have to kill me to be the only one that knows the secret. You ain't cheating. You ain't trying. No cold shoulders in my soul. It's worth the cold walk home. That Buffalo Cowboys car with the bullet hole in it. And if you look in the book, ooh, I got some fiddle faddles. I forgot about those. I had to put my dentures in to eat them. I've got them in. Third week in March. Yeah, what's happening then? Murderers don't get treasure. yeah. You know, that the whole thing with pointing the finger at, are you threatening me? Is telling me I know his secret. If you know his secret, to be the only one that knows the secret, you have to kill the other person. Basically, is the concept, and that was a Benjamin Franklin quote. Benjamin Franklin was the one that started that, not the mafia, not Al Capone. That was Benjamin Franklin, and they're like the report. It sounds like a mafia threat, you know. No, it's something George Washington or Benjamin Franklin said. See there, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, they were key people in the Declaration of Independence. How many items have you checked off your lead searchers? 9 clues. Umbilical cord answer. More than 40. When I showed Forrest the picture of what I call Forrest Fenn's totem, which is a triangle face. She had a face like a can opener. Okay, can opener face, totem figure with the profile of either Benjamin Franklin or Forrest Fenn on the cheek of the triangle face figure. And Miss Ford had a face like a can opener. That's a triangle, you know. When I showed him that, and well, I was showing him the drone video of it, the drone flying up to the thing and stuff, and I go, that looks like some old pilot carved his face on that rock there, and that's his memorial or something. Then I pointed over to another rock. I said, who's that guy? He says, that's George Washington. So, but Washington is, he says find is couple times he says find a substitute. His father's trying to find a substitute. He was trying to find, and the phone was ringing at the end of the hallway where I found the rock that looks like a hand holding a bell, ringing a bell. I went up and looked around that rock, and there was a telephone there. It was a BlackBerry phone. It's in my pile of junk. Oh, to Massachusetts. Yeah, my 5th great granduncle Robert Rogers went into what was it? He came into Washington's camp. John Stark brought him in, and he was dressed like he looked just like an Indian. So he'd go in disguise, and that's how he could walk right through town and nobody know who he was. Rabbit Hole was his name. Yeah. uh, oh, Kansas City finally got a Super Bowl. Good for them. The Raiders let them have it. um, yeah, and a funny thing is, just before I found the Buffalo Cowboys car, I took a picture of a bunny rabbit, and I was like 5 feet from this rabbit, and he's just sitting there, thinking if he moves, I see him and I'd eat him, but he just sat there and let me take his picture, and but he was in the circle of the. If you got the letter D, there's a circle in the middle of the small letter D. There's a little circle, and that was a grove of trees in the D of the word wood that was cut out of the forest. You know, so the word wood is actually meadows. They're meadows that write the word wood through the forest. 300-foot belly high grass meadows, like, and it's not far from the waterfall. These waterfalls, if you want to see the waterfalls, you want to be May or June is when the waterfalls got the most water. If you wait till July, the waterfalls are drying up. August, like Treasure Falls in August is a trickle. You don't want to go see Treasure Falls in August. You want to see it in June when the snow's all melting. And like Troy Barlow, he came up with that the ski lifts were modeled after a banana lift. It was like a conveyor of hooks, and they'd hang the bananas on and bring the bananas to the boat or the truck, and it was like a set of ski lifts. And grab every banana. Well, heavy loads are people on the ski lift. And the heavy loads, one of there's other heavy load. The other heavy loads is the ski lifts are one of the heavy loads, but there's the ancient heavy loads where the people that rode the mammoth on either side of the mountain is a put in and a takeout on either side, and any put in on a carry, not a terry, a carry, and a portage. A portage, going over the Continental Divide and stuff. The portage has a put in and a takeout on either side, and you go from one to the other. And so the put in is also a takeout, and if it's put, then you're looking for the takeout where you take it out. I made a meme. I had a picture of John Holmes with the meme on it. Said, "How deep is the hole?" And some of the other searchers didn't get it. They had to figure out who that was to understand the joke. Who was the Zodiac? It was my neighbor. I lived out in the Bay Area in Fremont when all that Zodiac killer stuff was going on. I was probably 10 years old or so. I wasn't gonna train my parrot to be a trout spotter. Know where to cast. Yeah, one of my search, I went searching up Trout Creek. It's not. I don't think there's any trout in Trout Creek, but that's the name of the one of the creeks. There's two great big watering things for the cattle, and there is Bessie again. Cattle and Bessie, not Saul. Marvel. Marvel gaze. The pyramids are a marvel. The ancient ruins, the seven wonders of the world are considered marvels. No, it's not near Buena Vista. Closer to Monte Vista. It's between Monte Vista and Pagosa Springs, somewhere in there. Except that Amelia Earhart landed just north of Alamosa. About a mile north of Alamosa is where Amelia Earhart was out over the plains, and I guess it was dust. She couldn't see anything to land out there, and came back and landed near Alamosa. And what was that guy's name? There's a ranch there. Can't remember the guy's name. So my head's kind of getting a neck to. Good luck. I wouldn't mind much if treasure is found somewhere else than where the solve leads, but someone finding in my spot would really suck. Yeah. Yeah, I have an area that it's got to be, except, the last thing in the book, one of the last pages in the book, he talks about his father's busy lighting candles at both ends. Now I feel that my father is sitting on the edge of a cloud somewhere watching. If he knows everything about me, he's pretty busy lighting candles, some of them at both ends. Now that's where he's talking about the blaze. That's those candles are blazes. And he's busy lighting candles, some of them at both ends, to get some is more than two. It's like three or more is some, It's not a couple, it's not a few, it's some of them have a blaze at both ends. And you see, Texas hot. So that's hot air balloon festival, right? Hot air balloons, they got blazes in the balloons. But his father's lighting again, some of them at both ends. That means that more than one of them are lit, have two blazes each. But the ones that are lit on both ends are the minor. That's some. That's not. It doesn't say most of them are, right? So most of them aren't lit at both ends. So there's more blazes that are single blazes than there are at both ends. The entire treasure hunt is a double blaze in that there's the gypsies dancing are one blaze below the home of Brown. The stout-hearted men are at the other end of the course, and there's a whole bunch of them in between. And one of these blazes is the blaze, the important one. So it could be at either end, or it could be somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle is miles. And to search that kind of area, and if you found the blazes, what blazes are, and you've seen how many there are, you come to a point where it's like chaos. There's just way too much to search it all, especially for one person. And and then you gotta, there are places where he would not put it. Okay, for instance, the one area I search in my search area, you got to go up the Forrest Road. That doesn't. Last year it opened in the middle of July because there was so much snow that washed the road out. Okay, imagine it's right now. You can't put it right next to the road. Road gets washed out. They come in with tractors, and they're bulldozing and moving dirt around and stuff and dig up the treasure. So it isn't where they're going to be doing maintenance like a culvert. All culverts are inspected every year to make sure that they're not plugged up and block water from getting through them. Yeah, it's in a secure place with security guards guarding the door. and the only way to go straight to it is with that title. When Forrest gives you the title, you can go to this place and claim it. You say, Forrest Fenn gave me this note. I'm here to pick up this item. You know, it's probably in a wooden box on a shelf in the basement, like in National Treasure, the first National Treasure. Oops, chieftains. Forrest could hide a 10 by 10. Yeah, I don't think it's up. It's not up. I found I got the helicopter. Thoth. He's got scrapbook about Thoth, his Thoth figure, because Thoth is the Moses figure that he is actually Thoth. But since he's part in the Rocky Mountains, he's pulling a Moses thing, you know, kind of. Yeah, marvel gaze when you find that treasure. Not a proxy hunt. When somebody asked him about the proxy thing, he was thinking like a token that you pick. No, there's nothing like that. And if you're braving in the wood, you found the Buffalo Cowboy car with the bullet hole in it. And in the book, that the one picture of the Buffalo Cowboy car has a bullet hole photoshopped into the picture because the picture didn't have a bullet hole in it. And who knows, he may be the one that put the bullet hole in that one I've got. Yeah, my book's about like the guy that says to take the string out of the spine, untie the spine of the book, whatever. And right there, that bullet hole is Photoshop. That's a bullet hole in the gas tank. Are these people going to be driving a car with a bullet hole in the gas tank? I don't think so. So this bullet hole on here was photoshopped onto the picture. So the bullet hole, that's why his other car was the bullet. How deep is a bullet hole? These are two different cars. These are two different cars. You see how much this comes down to this seam right here? There's a seam on here between the cowl and this side piece here. There's a seam right there. And then you look on this car and you can see it doesn't curve down. This doesn't curve down as far as this one. These are two different cars. And and what is it? This car looks nice and there's no dents or anything. This one's pretty beat up. So, and it has the windshield. So it's beat up with the windshield on it. After I don't know if the hood is on this or not, but after the hood and the windshield's gone, it's in prime shape, So I think this is a picture that he found, a stock photo or something, and Photoshop. He's admitted to Photoshop and Skippy in there. Somebody got to get him to admit that this bullet hole was Photoshopped on there. That bullet hole right there. That's not a dot on your screen. That's a Photoshop bullet hole. And the cowl that I have sitting out in my shed he says he took a 50 cal to the nose. That's a subtle hint. I know that he's talking about his airplane, but it's a subtle hint to the car. It's just another vehicle. It's not the exact, it's subtle. It means it's not exactly the same. It's similar. You watched the Super Bowl? No, I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I don't give a shit about the Super Bowl or any of the guys who played in it. I don't even know the names. I know who played football in the 70s and 60s. Maybe 80s, but I don't. I've met Jim Odo and Jerry Brown, and not the one that's was the governor of California. The Jerry Brown, the football player, he did a lot of interceptions. What channels do you? Yeah. No channels, no free, no airwaves channels here, none at all. I'm sure the players are all heartbroken that wasn't there to watch. Yeah. All right, honey badger. Do you grow your own weed? Those buds in that. But they're growing up here in the they're high altitude buds. Hi. Man, it says nugs. Yeah, yeah. I got them from. I get them from a local up here, but not there. It's all out, so I got to go back to the dispensaries for stuff. Pumps up the hill to the house, and I can't grow until I have an official address and a secure place that I can lock up. You can't grow anything here. But I think I might stick some seeds in my shed and try and put a door on it and maybe a plastic cover on the roof. Strawberry fields. Go to strawberry fields. And they have $60, $100 usually. You should get the $60 ounce. It lasts a month. And check out when I get back to Colorado. I got some TV. Okay, get my antenna. I'm not picky. Tracking is in the cliff by the click of Browns Road. Um, there's a Browns Road there in South Fork, and there's a uh in Del Norte. There's Brown's Septic Service. Yeah, poop trucks. That's brown, brown, brown. um, and there's a Boyd Brown in the cemetery. Now, you know, because Forrest Fenn, he's got the same letter twice, FF, Forrest Fenn. He pays attention. I think there were some other people that had that repeated initial, you know. So when Boyd Brown, that's BB. And what are BBs? They're what he put in his Red Ryder BB gun, right? So Boyd Brown is a BB. But and below where Boyd Brown is buried is a pyramid. Science. um, I had the CT scan, and my splenoid sinus. The thing was there was too much stuff in there for them to see what was, and so it has to be cleaned out. And I had like 4 different sinus cavities that were all blocked up, and they got to open it up, and so it all drains. And I've heard that coronavirus was something the Chinese or the Canadians have a lab up in Canada that where the coronavirus they had it, and some Chinese national working at that lab stole a vial of it and took it back to China. And they've modified it, and they don't know if it was them or because it came from that bird flu thing or virus or whatever, or SARS, and they modified SARS. They added some of the stuff from AIDS into it. AIDS was an engineered virus, and whatever, and then so they take it over to China. It got loose from their lab or something, and so now there are Chinese cities that you can't leave. And stuff, but they say that they've already, before they let it loose, they already had a cure for it. They're just trying to reduce the population of China because there's there's a couple billion people there. Yeah, I bet. That's one thing. My nearest neighbor is half a mile. They can't sneeze and get me. And I've got where is that? I'm ready. Don't eat bats and snakes. I heard the bat that's it. This is something that they engineered in a lab. Yeah. Oh, it's probably ancient food. Yeah, turtles, 20 feet, nearly 10 feet. Yeah. So those guys that raided King Tut's tomb, one of them, he just had a little cut from shaving or something, and a little dirt, some micro thing got in there and killed him. We have bats and snakes, but they aren't on the menu. Too many freaking people. Yeah, and the other thing, if you cook stuff, it kills germs, you know. Oh, that's totally gross. Them eating, they boil those bats live or whatever. It's like people eat. An oyster tried to kill me. Yeah, everyone. Have a great day. Yeah, you too, Vanishing Race. Vanishing Race. It's China. It's gonna. And I guess India just flew some people home. So, India is another place where there's too many people. Guy from India at Home Depot, he told me in India there's people everywhere. You turn over a rock and there's somebody under it. What about pass that strict controls on birth? No, I don't believe in that. I got 5 wonderful grandkids. I'm glad there's no restriction on birth. That's and if anything, the white race is or officially minorities here now. So they got to stop. They got to give us some minority rights now. They're gonna have to. That's all BS. And I saw a thing that Aboriginals found dead. Or is it suggesting white people killed them, or was it some other minority race that killed them, or something? Anytime they're saying, "Oh, will you blame it on us?" Blacks kill more blacks. Most black murders are committed by other black people. It ain't a bunch of white people. It ain't the KKK coming and hunting them down. It's their own tribe. They're people. They're not. This classifying people by what color they are is BS. Yeah. Intelligent people are a minority. Not a monster. Yeah, I'm not. I don't belong to the KKK. I'm not a member of the NRA or nothing. But I believe in the Second Amendment. Yeah, and yeah, as I know some of the family history. I don't like to, something that's like, shit. I wish I never knew that about that ancestor, and so I'm not spreading that gossip. I'll let that story die. Does I want to say humans are? Yeah. The most everything is here came from somewhere else. There are other plant. I think we're all a genetic experiment by some alien race. They say it's not possible for us to affect the carbon levels and the global warming and all that stuff. It's not possible. We we haven't we're not capable of producing such a force that would change the climate. That is controlled by the sun. Yeah, arm the bears and the deer. The right to arm bears. The Chinese to save the planet. Yeah. Wow, I've hit 2 hours already. See if I got another. And Forrest says, I don't mean to be evasive, but I see I am. He's being evasive. When he talks about, getting to the treasure chest and all, he's not that. It's not really out there. He secreted the treasure. He didn't hide it. He secreted it. And I don't think he'd leave it out there. The trove is what you seek. My trove for all to seek. And people are so, oh man, I gotta find that treasure chest. Find that treasure chest. That's not what he wants you to look for. If you can find the thrill of the chase, which are the ancient artifacts that are spread all over the canyon walls, his trove of memories on the canyon walls, then you're the winner. And since I've got the Buffalo Cowboy car in my shed, it's not possible for you to follow the poem and find that. And coming over to visit and seeing it in my shed, that ain't finding it. I've already claimed title. I own that. You can't own what I already own unless I give you title to it. You can see nature landscapes and light up with Forrest Pond. Title is, it's in his. Can't have the treasure, can't have that. I have a picture showing that Forrest is saying hats off to a job well done, and here's the hand of God. You've done it. And that's all I have right now. But the title nobody's going to have it while he's still breathing. So all this bullshit demanding, cough it up, show it, and Jackie's wanting out, and I'm over 2 hours, and yeah, the hand of God, that hand symbol that George Washington has in the Stuart painting that Forrest owned, that with the hand, George Washington's hand doing the hand of God symbol, Masonic, handing the nation to the people. It's a, here you go. You got to hand it to you. Staged photo with me and Forrest doing that hand symbol, doffing his hat. If you know what doffing the hat is, it's a salute. His hand is in it. and then the story about Bella, the woman Bella, and he's got that hand symbol there in that drawing too, with the table there. That's like the table in the George Washington drawing. And here he is doing the George Washington hand symbol in that drawing. I had to hand it to her. She was an all right person. So, and he's showing the hand it to you symbol, hand symbol. And it's a crib. And tea with Olga and her estate lawyers. There were lawyers having tea also. It wasn't just tea with Olga. Oh, I was thinking about the color of the tea. The color of the tea is so important because K-Pro says it's important. And it's like quotes from Forrest that they have that they if the quote is on Dale's side or on K-Pro or comes from one of these other bloggers, and stuff. One of the Toby and we believe them. We believe what they say. But any quote Forrest told you is invalid. It's like, stuff it up your ass. And I'm done. I've got to fix something to eat. Have some fiddle faddles. Let's see if you can make an emotional connection with Forrest's child. Listen, yeah. Forrest talks about he was doing a lot of daydreaming in class. Okay, when I was in elementary school, I was sent to the school psychologist for daydreaming in class. It's that type of looking out the window, Well, there's other, you got other things on your mind besides what the teacher is shooting at you, living in another world. He talks about laying in bed, going back to sleep, close his eyes. They're just reconnected for some reason. Good night. Thanks. No more drinking for me. I'm done with that. Yeah. Go to Strawberry Fields. They'll give you something to replace the alcohol. Well, you got to buy it, but glitching. Yep. Yeah, I'm done. 2:11:43. Oh. Good night, all. Whoopi and Maria has already gone to bed, I think. Keep this stuff real. Yeah. The other channels need to, let's say K-Pro Mike. Oh, we'll have you on. I was supposed to be on that first one, that first marathon they had, and they fucked me out of it. Really. They did. And no, I'm not gonna ask to be on their shit again. You got to make it up, you assholes. You got to make it up. Go, hey, we know we fucked you over many times, and we want you to be on. We got questions or whatever, and they don't have questions because they don't watch. They don't know anything, Yeah, it's gonna be great the day that I say, look, beat somebody PhD, an NSA intelligence analyst, old camel toe, and head in the sand. Yeah. Okay, I'm done. Have a good week. Hopefully I get my phlebotomy tomorrow because my doctors ain't renewing. The cancer doctor and the hospital administrator told him, "Oh, don't see that guy anymore." Yeah. The cancer doctor's like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with him." Like 12-step alcohol. Yeah. Well. Okay, I'm done. Good night. Adios, amigos.